Welcome along to episode 867 of the Milk Bar. Jason Forrest here with you as ever. And on the show this week, we find out about Here and Now, the Steps musical from Rosie Singha, who's playing Nita in the show. It's at the Grand in March. We'll be hearing all about that. Also on the way, we hear from Big Three Productions about their amateur premiere of Dear Evan Hansen. SparkSpace is a new resource for teams who work in libraries. We'll be hearing how that can help get younger people involved more in the world of books. Plus, Sean Morris from Ooono lets us know how drivers are zoning out and how we can avoid it. On top of that, we'll be exploring as Kate Silverton lets us know about the micro retirement and how we can make the most of our time off work and enjoy going back to work afterwards. That's all on the way on the show this week.
Welcome to the Milk Bar. 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 Welcome to the Milk Bar.
With Here and Now at the Grand Theatre in Wolverhampton from the 10th through to the 15th of March, the magical music of Steps is going to be brought to the stage. Somebody helping bring that to life is Rosie Singha, who's with me now. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, good to talk to you. And you're no stranger to the Grand Theatre, having popped up in Anne Juliet recently too.
Yeah, I had the most wonderful time. I'm excited to be back.
Well, I say it's a great theatre. It's going to be wonderful seeing and hearing how this music brought to life. So give us a bit of the background to the tale of Here and Now.
So Here and Now, it's a story about four best friends. It's led by Kaz, and then she's got her three other best friends, Vel, Nita, and Robbie. And Kaz is turning 50. She's gonna have her big summer of love, and she wants her friends to join in on that. There's obviously a lot of adventures and things that happen on the way, a few twists and turns, a few plot twists. But yeah, ultimately it's a huge fun night out to the iconic music of Steps.
Absolutely. And this is so many childhood or teenage memories for so many people who'll be coming along because it is just amazing music. And wherever in your life Steps popped up, actually, I mean, it is just so feel good and so moving and so easy to tell a story with.
100%. It's actually been really fun, like seeing how the different orchestrations for the different songs, like a lot of absolute bangers that you think you'll come and see them in the show and be like, wow, I never thought that could be like a heartfelt ballad. So yeah, it's been really fun getting to work with the material.
And have you met the gang as well?
Yes, I mean, I was very lucky. I got to work with Leon and Juliet, which was so much fun, and he's amazing. But yeah, the band have popped down quite a few times, and they're producing it, and they've been really beautifully involved. So yeah, a huge privilege to not only sing their songs all the time, but to actually get to work with them on it. It's been really
And
fun.
where does this music sit for you in your own musical timeline? Were you there doing the steps of tragedy?
To be honest, I was born in 2002, so I was born into Steps Mania.
Mhm.
But I was actually I've said to a few people I vividly remember being at like school discos and 5, 6, 7, 8 playing and that being like the ultimate school disco hype song. So yeah, definite fond memories of it.
And with the show and the look and the feel, it's just so bright, isn't it? I think that's what really stands out. It's all energy.
It is so much fun. I mean, every single element of the show, from the musical itself to the set to the costume, everything to the choreography, like it is so bright and fun. Exactly like you say, like everything packs a punch, everything is energized. Like, yeah, it's a definite fun night out. If you're looking to have some fun, we are absolutely the show for you.
And with the love story along the way.
100%. All of our four principal characters have their own respective love stories and ways that they find love. And yeah, I think it's a huge privilege to get to take across the country lots of different stories of love and the different ways that people love. And ultimately, at the end of the night, you come away feeling the love from all of those characters, which I think is a huge privilege to be able to do for people.
For you, I mean, your career's just been amazing so far, and you've got so much more to come. And this is just another career highlight along the path, isn't it?
100%. I mean, I do not take it lightly that my second job I've been able to play such a fun part, and to be able to play a part in itself is a huge privilege, and I feel very lucky to be part of this company, which is full, like ram packed full of incredible performers who have had incredible careers. So yeah, to get to head up this company is a huge privilege.
And with the tracks, obviously, there's got to be a favourite. You've already mentioned the school disco and 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that the one that's still the most important song to you in here?
It is fun. It is so much fun. And when you come and see the show, it is pure, undeniable, joyful chaos. However, my favourite number in the show is Better the Devil. Better the Devil, is such a bop. And I actually didn't really know the song before we started the show. Every single day, night in the wings, I am bopping along. I've learnt the I'm not in that number, unfortunately, but it's even better that I get to dance with them in the wings. It's
Yeah.
too much fun.
You get to throw your own shapes, which is what counts.
Exactly.
See, I'm going to show my age because I remember when Sonia did Better the Devil, when it
Yes.
first came round. And of course, the Pete Waterman backdrop to this, the PWL record label, and all that history as well, which is kind of channeled here too with the musicality of it. It's just, again, another source of amazing fun, brilliant music, and something that shaped everybody's youth.
100%. I think it's been really nice, especially when we get to take it across the country, seeing the kind of audiences that we get, and seeing all the different generations of people relate to this music, and hearing people's stories about their life and how this song relates to them and what it means to them, and having steps in their life. Yeah, it's a huge privilege to get to talk to those people and meet these people and bring them some joy. It's so much fun.
And do you like to explore the towns and cities you visit along the way too? I mean, are you going because you've got a Wolverhampton link now, having been here before. Have you got some places you want to go back to when you're here?
Honestly, I love getting to tour just to see places. I mean, don't get me wrong, we are on a pretty busy schedule. We're ramming our shows in. But yeah, no, it's so lovely to get to see the different places and the different towns, and also go back to places and have audiences return that will say like, oh, I saw you in this show here and I've come back to see you. It's really lovely to get to take it around the country and get those people to come back and see our shows. But yeah, very excited to come back to Wolverhampton.
Well, with the Steps musical here and now at the Grand from the 10th through to the 15th of March, tickets are on 01902 429212 or grandtheatre.co.uk. Rosie Singha, break a leg, have a brilliant time, and we look forward to seeing you at the Grand in the not too distant future.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely day.
Big Three Productions are once more in action at the Rugeley Rose Theatre. This time round it is Dear Evan Hansen. I have four of the number here. How's everybody? You're good?
Yes,
thank you.
Right, now one of you is playing Evan Hansen and we've got to try and work out which. But then it's a lead role in a Big Three Production show, so pretty much certain it's going to be James, aren't we? How you doing?
Yes, I'm good, thank you. Yeah, all good. Yeah, I'm playing Evan, and I'm super excited. I think we all are. This is UK premiere, well, the UK amateur premiere of the show, so we're all super excited. And this, for me personally, Evan is my dream role. So it's been a dream come true.
It's why you've been using the moisturiser all these years.
Yeah, to try to look young again, like in Jamie's. But no, very exciting.
It's worked.
So who else are the rest of you then? Give us some.
So I'm playing Conor Murphy's mum, Cynthia.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I'm playing Heidi Hansen, who is James's mum. Again.
But you don't look anywhere near old enough, even though he is.
No, I definitely am old
You
enough.
need to lay off the Oliver. And?
And I'm playing Zoe. So super cool. His love interest, but also still kind of cool.
In spite of that,
Yeah. But I'm Connor's sister, so yeah.
I like the fact you're both about the same height, which is working for me.
They cast it well, didn't they?
Yeah, they
It
do.
could be awkward otherwise.
Yeah,
Okay, so obviously it's all about him, but give us a bit of your story arcs and your favourite bits of those for the show.
It's difficult to say kind of favourite parts of it. So Conor Murphy is the young gentleman that takes his own life. So it's all around then how Evan kind of comes into the family's life and almost tries to fill the gap that he feels that he has between his own mom and also kind of the gap that we've now got as a family as well.
So you get the emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
That's how it works for you. What's your favourite bit of being his mother?
Oh, it's that whole. So Heidi's a character who she's a single mom. She works really hard. She's at college trying to get a qualification, and she just does her best for Evan, and then there's sort of I don't want to give too much away in case you haven't seen it, but sort of towards the end they have a bit of an argument, and then there's a really poignant moment where they come back together, and there's a beautiful song where it's just beautiful, really lovely.
And again, it's a very song-led show, isn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But popular songs as well.
Yeah,
They've really worked out well.
Lovely. Yes.
Go on.
Yeah, so
You had a chance to think about this one.
I took a couple of minutes. No, I think Zoe's kind of like gone through the point of she wasn't really that close to her brother at the time, and it's kind of understanding when you should and shouldn't go through the grieving process. Should you feel right or wrong if like you aren't exactly close to them or not? So she kind of has that roller coaster of trying to understand her feelings of losing her brother, whilst also then having someone else join the family, and kind of maybe feeling like they're replacing them. And she kind of goes through that roller coaster of emotion. And I think there's some really nice bits, really sad bits. Obviously, I don't want to give too much away, but I think there's one of the songs like Requiem, and that's my favourite bit of the whole thing for my character. Yeah.
And James, as Evan, what's the bit for you that really is the epitome of this role? Why have you wanted to play this so long? Why have you convinced everybody you should do this as the amateur premier in the UK purely so you can shine?
Well, I think with Evan, I think there's a lot of similarities I see in myself, but also some differences. I think Evan is a very nervous, anxious individual, and I kind of resonate with that a bit. My mouth often moves faster than my brain does. I'll say 10 words instead of one. So all of that. But Evan's such a unique character. He has such drastic social anxiety, and the show's all about exploring it. It's about exploring like loneliness, but also connection, and especially in this modern age with social media, that takes sort of a big stage in the show, and how that effect and that almost want to be relevant or to be seen. So Evan is, there's a big range of emotions that Evan goes through, and to see how that all unfolds is really both it's both harrowing but also kind of what am I trying to say here? I don't know. See, my mouth. but yeah, I know. But and also the songs. It's from the creators of The Greatest Showman. So the songs are just beautiful, and there's certain ones in there. And, from a singing point of view, it's a very difficult show, but there's some absolutely brilliant show-stopping numbers there.
Yeah, there's the story that goes with it, makes it all worthwhile. The effort you have to put in, the fact you've been rehearsing for like 6 months now, and it has been your go-to when you're singing in the shower, hasn't it, as well? So it is taking over your lives. So you take over the Rugeley Rose from the 25th through the 28th of February. Tickets available from?
Ticket Source. We have got a Facebook page, Big 3 Facebook page, where the link is posted as well. So if you go on that, you can get to it via that also.
But get your tickets, get them quickly, because this is selling well already, isn't it?
And like our last show sold out. You couldn't get tickets. People literally were fighting to get tickets, so I do recommend getting them quickly.
Well, have a fantastic time of the show. Break a leg or an arm or something, and it's going to be absolutely amazing for audiences across the area. Have a brilliant one.
Thank you
very much.
Now, libraries are looking to young people to find out how to make their spaces more welcoming, as 6 in 10 library staff lack confidence in working with the younger generation. To tell us more, I'm joined now by Tabitha Weatherick-Macaulay, who's Chief Executive of Libraries Rising. Good afternoon.
Great to be here. Hi.
Good to have you along. Right, okay, so libraries. We've sadly seen a number of closures. However, we have a core of libraries left. They do all sorts of things. It's not just about books these days. People are going in to use computers, print things out, do all sorts of stuff, as well as actually reading a book or referencing or finding a newspaper or getting an audiobook. But when it comes down to accessibility for the younger generation, they may be going into at an early age as part of some of the toddler groups and things that take place in our libraries, an introduction to books. But by the time they hit the teen years, this is, by the sounds of things, becoming less of a space for them.
So we're really excited today to be launching SparkSpace, which is a free online platform to support library staff and volunteers to work more confidently, inclusively with children and young people. And the great thing is that this has been designed with young people themselves. And the groups that we've worked with across the country have told us that they need safe, welcoming spaces within their communities. And we know that libraries are there and open to everyone.
Yeah, and as I say, it's one of those places where you know you can go to settle down in a quiet space. They're not quite as silent as they used to be, but it's not about sitting there nattering on your phone. It is about being there to commune with the books and the people.
Yeah, libraries are definitely really important community spaces for young people, and we want them to feel welcome. It doesn't happen automatically. So SparkSpace is going to help library teams to really listen, build trust, and share ownership with young people so that we can get those spaces right for future generations.
Now you've got funding on this from the Foyle Foundation. Tell us a bit about the link and how this all comes together.
The funding that we've had from the Foyle Foundation is really to make sure that that money is being used for the long term. So this platform is being launched today, but we'll be running it and developing it for libraries for the long term. And we're really looking to help libraries to listen to young voices. And so that starts with us as a charity. We've worked with young people across the country, a diverse group of young people with their own lived experiences. And they've told us what they want libraries to know. They've helped us to develop the training. They've created practical tools for libraries to use as well in reaching and engaging with young people in local communities.
And it may be they have send needs, and it could be they're using the library as a space to be able to catch up on bits of education which they're not necessarily getting in as much detail as they might need in school. It could be it's somewhere kids are popping to do their homework because their parents not home at the same time as them, so they nip in, they can sit down, they've got reference materials. There's all sorts of ways that they're accessing the library services themselves.
Absolutely. So libraries are quite diverse in what they offer to people. There's free Wi-Fi, there can be study space, there are events and activities going on. And this training that we're launching today is going to help library staff to really listen and to co-create with young people so that the events that they're putting on, the activities, the services, the spaces really meet the needs of young people and are welcoming and safe for young people as well.
Yeah, and even they can pick up a book they might want to borrow, take home with them, and get their library card scanned and be a regular user.
Absolutely. So we all know that there are lots of great stories in libraries, and this year's the National Year of Reading, so it's a really great time to be reaching out and talking with young people about what they want to read, what they want to get from their local library. So we're hoping that this new training SparkSpace is going to help libraries to have those conversations and build that knowledge.
So librarians, library assistants, and those who volunteer in community spaces like that, where do we go to find out more?
So SparkSpace is freely available for anybody to take a look at librariesrising.org.uk, and you can look at our social media channels if you want to listen to the young people that have been involved in creating the learning as well. So really great opportunity to hear about what young people think about libraries.
Absolutely. Chief Executive of Libraries Rising, Tabitha Weatherick-Macaulay, thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Now, stress on the roads is not a good thing. And when we're doing our best to avoid potholes at the best of times, let alone knowing what else is actually out there. Somebody who can help us try and make sure we stay on track when it comes to being out on the road is Sean Morris from Ooono. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, Jason. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on.
Well, good to talk to you again. And we know that driving is stressful, but people are tending to zone out a little bit as well, which isn't helping.
Yeah. So we did a recent survey and we found some quite surprising numbers, actually. 58% of people actually admit to not being in control whilst driving. 58%.
That's a worry.
That's a big worry. It's a big worry. And 45% have this phenomenon of zone out that you've just mentioned. So that's where we've all done a journey, and we get to where we're going, and we find at least part of that journey we can't remember because we literally zoned out during that, daydreaming about whatever it may be, and that's quite dangerous at the best of times. So yeah, we're trying to encourage people to have some sort of a mechanism that helps them sort of, if you like, wake up from those zone out moments.
Yeah, because this time of year as well, I think it's worse than ever. And the only thing that does tend to keep you focused on the road is when you suddenly get that low sun first thing in the morning, which basically tries to blind you. And even then, you then have to try and remember where you were going as it comes at you. But what is the cause of the zone out? Is it purely the fact they are a little bit tired because it's not such a bright time of year?
So I think people are a bit more stressed this time of year, not least because they've just had 2 nice weeks off, or hopefully nice weeks off with their family and friends, and now it's back to work, and it's the long slog to Easter. So that gives a little bit more stress to people. Obviously, the ice on the roads is not helpful. People, especially if you're not keen on driving anyway, and then there's ice on the roads, it just adds that stress level, and all of these things get on top of people a little bit, and we just, as humans, we just start to block things out, and unfortunately we block out things that we shouldn't as well.
Yeah, that's unfortunately one of those things there. So remind us how Ooono can help with that.
So we have a little device called a co-driver, which literally just alerts you when you're in those dangerous hotspots on the road. So places where maybe there's been lots of accidents, or that there has just been an accident or a broken down car, or there's a safety camera. Safety cameras are placed on particularly dangerous parts of the road. And if you have zoned out, what you want is something to tap you on the shoulder when you go and drive into those particularly dangerous areas. That just wakes you up and says, "Hey, Jason, wake up, mate. Pay attention." And that's what our device does. It sits there. There's absolutely nothing else but that. There's no screen. There's nothing until it needs to warn you, and that's what it does.
Yeah, so it is all about making sure that you are paying attention, particularly during those dangerous bits. And that's the bit, it could be someone's reported something nasty, like a big patch of black ice. And if that's been reported, this will tell you about it.
It 100% will. And the community is very strong, and that's what it does. And we have a lot of static information already in the device, but you're right. You drive past a bit of black ice, you report it, I'm behind you, I get warned about it. It's really, really simple.
Yeah.
And it's the community helping the community.
Yeah, and it's something you might do if you stop off at the services and you had a problem on the motorway somewhere. That's the point at which you do it, when you're not driving, clearly.
Yeah, so you can do, actually interesting, you can do both. So with a very, very simple tap of a button, and literally a tap of a button, it reports a hazard. Yeah, but not what that hazard is. Now, you're quite right then. When you get to your motorway service station or wherever, you can then categorize that hazard if you choose you want to. You don't have to, but you can. So you can say it was black ice, it was a dog in the road, it was a broken down car, whatever it may be.
So a brilliant way of making sure the community stays safe, you stay safe, and sometimes following the speed limit isn't always that easy, particularly when they keep changing. And that is one of the things these days is you think, when was the last time I saw a speed notice sign? And you look at the sat nav, and the sat nav's out of date because that says 50 and it's now a 30 zone. So there's all sorts of things like that you need to keep a check on. And again, this is where the device comes in, because it reminds you when you're coming up to one of the safety cameras, and then there is a sign right before the safety camera, so you will know what you should be doing.
Exactly. And interestingly, our survey, 34% of people reported not knowing that they were speeding. So that's on top of not seeing the speed sign, but actually, so they knew they should have been doing 30 miles an hour, and they thought they were doing 30 miles an hour, but actually they were doing 35 miles an hour. They hadn't realised, with modern cars being so quiet and smooth, that their speed had crept up. So again, having that tap on the shoulder to say, "Oi, slow down a little bit," can be quite helpful.
How do people find out more about Ooono?
So if you go to our website, which is oono.com, you'll find lots of information about safety. We do lots of safety products, mainly to do with the road, but some for the house as well. So yeah, it's an interesting place to go and have a look around and see what we do.
I'm sure my Chief Operating Officer at Ooono, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Jason. Pleasure to talk to you.
Now, workers are looking to extend leave to travel and reconnect with nature. A micro-retirement, this could be called. To tell us more, I'm joined now by therapist and former broadcaster Kate Silverton. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Lovely to see you.
Good to see you too. Now, when it comes to taking a bit of a break, we can be sort of re-enlivened by a change of scenery for a while. And people are feeling like going back into the world of work afterwards. They're not trying to escape it completely. But what sort of age group are we looking at here, and what are their plans?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't want to speak for the young ones. I think there's an element now where we are all rather much more mindful of our physical and mental health, and recognizing the value, as you've just said, of sometimes just taking a break and switching off. We all live at a life that is so much, the pace of which I would say is not really serving our nervous system as well as it might. We are designed as human beings to live in a state of equilibrium. And yes, sometimes we're going to do that, and our stress response is going to kick in, and we're going to cope with deadlines and all the rest of it. But if we're constantly up here, the young ones, in our 20s, we can get away with it, but it takes a toll. And what we see in science and sort of neuroscience and neurobiology is it kind of, when we get to our 40s and 50s, not that the wheels start to fall off, but there are certain symptoms that are signs that we might want to bring ourselves back into balance and sort of experience a little bit of a slower pace, even just for a temporary period. And I think that's what this survey by Explore is showing, that a significant number of people are saying we do want to take time out. Traveling, it does restore us because we get ourselves out of our normal environment. We're a slower pace, but it's also reminding us that there's a bigger world out there, and it just brings us back. We're not trying to escape, we're trying to recalibrate. And as someone working in the field of mental health now, I would say that's a very good thing indeed.
Absolutely, and say our mental health is governed by many things, and actually taking a break from some of those stresses, which are there day to day, and they're a requirement. And the stress itself isn't a bad thing; it's just what helps us deliver when it comes to our roles. But Explore Worldwide here have actually shown us that 26% have already maybe taken a sabbatical, rising to 54% of Gen Z employees, compared to just 8% of Boomers, and they're probably of a generation whereby they were calculating on the retirement anyway, so that they can see it from a distance. It just hasn't been the done thing. But whether you call it a micro retirement, a sabbatical, or a gap year, as it were, depending on which age group you're from, it is good to get that time in.
It's really interesting, isn't it, that if we're nearer to retirement age, but let's face it, actually, most of us are now thinking, are we just going to have to keep working until we're 202? So it makes sense whether you're thinking about a gap year when you're younger, but it actually is making more sense now when we're in our 40s, 50s, even 60s, to think, I've still got really good health, I'm financially secure, I might just want to take a little bit longer for myself. And actually, by the way, the companies get to gain from me coming back refreshed and restored and with a sort of reinvigorated, actually. And it was, I think, 84% of people who took the survey said that they felt really positive about returning back to work. So this is not about stepping off completely. It's just this micro retirement idea is, you know what, I might just take a bit of a longer break. And I would say start small. It could be a 3-week holiday instead of a 2-week holiday, but just being mindful about what is serving us and our nervous system. Just coming back to your point about stress is good for, stress is good. There's no problem with stress. It's when we're living with acute stress for too long and then it becomes chronic. So acute stress sort of is when it goes up, we deal with the deadline, we come back, perfect, the body comes back to balance. What's happening is we're then going into chronic stress, which is where we're living with it day to day because we're never away from our screens. We are always on. We've always got a deadline that can never be achieved, or it feels like that way, because we're always connected to work now.
Yeah, and with Explore Worldwide, I mean, they are seeing this as a worldwide thing with travel. 62% from the figures show that they've explored Europe already. And when you're looking further afield, that's when it's worthwhile taking longer because the journey out there takes longer too.
Yeah, and also just traveling slower. This has seemed to have captured the imagination today. I've been doing a lot of interviews and everyone talks about that 4 to 5 day. I don't know if you find this, but you go on holiday for your 2 weeks. It takes till day 5 before you go, okay, I'm in it now, and that's the sort of the nervous system coming back to balance. So if you think about it, it takes 5 days, just factoring in another 7 on top allows you to really get in the swing. And as you say, travel further afield as well, maybe take yourself to somewhere that you've never been and you feel a bit more adventurous because that's a nice challenge in and of itself.
And the level of adventure is what you see as the level of adventure as well. You don't have to go paragliding, bungee jumping, or anything like that. It can be whatever you fancy, and that could be taking a walk around the outback in Australia in a controlled way with a guide.
Absolutely that. And sometimes it is quite nice to go with guides because they are more connected with the local communities, which is why I like working with Explore, because they do this. It's that local community, and also to travel sustainably, and also just not traveling at a fast pace and trying to get everything in, but seeking local knowledge and finding enrichment that way.
So it sounds like a great way of doing things and a great time to take a break, that micro retirement, and then the return to work, which can be as major or micro as it needs to be afterwards, depending on your finances. Where do we go for full details, Kate?
If you go on to explore.co.uk, and they've got a nice little feature on there where you can go in, you type in your age, your stress levels, and they kind of send some ideas to you to pique your interest.
Sounds good to me. I'm sure, no doubt, you'll be thinking about that too, and taking a bit of a break from the therapy, and getting you re-enlivened to work with your clients, which would be a brilliant way of doing it. Kate Silverton, therapist and former broadcaster, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
That's all for this week. Thank you so much for joining me back with episode 868 next week. I'll see you then. Ta-ra for now.
Goodbye from the milk bar. 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 Yeah. Goodbye from the milk bar. Yeah.